they're off. In the Irish Champion Stakes, 1.25 miles in front of the 4, and it's the outsider Patrick Sarsfield who takes them along from Poetic Flair, St. Mark's Basilica, and dropped in last of the quartet Star Filly Tarnawa as they make their way towards the mile point. And it's Patrick Sarsfield and Declan McDonough racing on by 2.5 lengths to Poetic Flair and Kevin Manning, who's followed by St. Mark's Basilica and Ryan Moore. The back marker is Tarnawa and Colin Keane. Good spaces between the 4 runners with a little over 7 furlongs to go. Order unchanged is Patrick Sarsfield showing the way to Poetic Flair, who's racing beyond a mile for the first time in his career. And then St. Mark's Basilica with the back marker Tarnawa. A little over 6 furlongs to go, continuing down the back straight in the Irish Champion Stakes. And the leader is Patrick Sarsfield, followed by Poetic Flair, and third is St. Mark's Basilica. Unbeaten this season, St. Mark's Basilica is tracked closely by Tarnawa. Reaching the 5, the halfway stage as they turn out of the back. Patrick Sarsfield by 3.5 lengths to Poetic Flair. A couple of lengths off them in third place is St. Mark's Basilica, and Tarnawa remains last of the 4. Half a mile from the finish, still in the same order since they left the stalls. Patrick Sarsfield followed by Poetic Flair, St. Mark's Basilica in the purple and white jacket, stoked by Tarnawa. Racing on towards the 3, and it's Patrick Sarsfield with a slightly reduced advantage over Poetic Flair, St. Mark's Basilica and Tarnawa, the 3 with multiple Group 1 races between them, who track into the straight. Patrick Sarsfield straightening up for home, just over 2 to go. Patrick Sarsfield from Poetic Flair inching closer. St. Mark's Basilica down the outside is Tarnawa. Patrick Sarsfield gives best, falls out, and it is Poetic Flair, St. Mark's Basilica. Tarnawa's on the outside, they're inside the final furlong, and it's St. Mark's Basilica, Poetic Flair and Tarnawa, the spread across the track. St. Mark's Basilica on the near side of Poetic Flair and Tarnawa in a classic Irish Champion Stakes. St. Mark's Basilica completes a magnificent array of Group 1 victories in the Irish Champion Stakes for Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien.